I just broke another nail. They all go at the same time. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new, welcome. I am Jasmine and I've started this series of sorts, if you will, of video diaries where I think out loud and process through just certain stuff that happens or certain things that strike me as groundbreaking. Keep watching. All right, so I have been in therapy for about 4 years now, since 17, I think. And I've always worked with her about like cognitive distortions is how you pronounce it. Just ways that you can determine what are real factors versus what are, if you're a believer, lies, untruths, things that keep you from existing in reality and how to identify them. So lately I've really been working on, and it's taken years, I've been working to manage my anxiety better. Now, I don't think I have extreme anxiety like someone who's on anxiety. Actually, I know that I don't, because I don't take anxiety meds, I don't do any of that. I think just the normal stress of life, and then realizing certain things that set me off a little bit and, you know, get me worked up, or just insecurities that I still deal with and stuff like that. And so today I realized that, so actually earlier this week my bank card got compromised, as it does once every, feels like 6 months to a year, and my bank card started getting declined, and then I called the company because at the time I'm just like, well, hold on, it's getting declined but there's money in the account, what's going on? Well, it turns out it was fraudulent activity on my account, and so we ended up closing the card, and they take 5 to 7 business days to send you a new card, which leaves me with the cash that I have and then the mercy of the banks that are open. Well, of course, I also am stubborn in other areas as well. And obviously that's not me being stubborn, it happens to all of us, but I think other things tend to happen around the same time. And so one of my tires is going low, and naturally I don't have enough cash to get it fixed, and I have things I have to do tomorrow, and it just, you know, when you live by yourself, and there's just things that feel like, it's like, man, this happened and then this happened, but because this happened I can't do this and whatever. It's easy to get consumed by things that are going on. Now obviously I use these as examples. There are bigger things and bigger stressors that take place, but life is stressful. Not to mention, I have been on a weight loss journey, which I'm gonna film videos. I just want to give you guys the content that you guys, you know, I wanted to just be packaged correctly. So I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like. But I'm down 15 pounds and I'm a part of this fitness competition with my family, and I'm currently in first place. We have 1 weigh-in left, and I have put pressure on myself to, and again, I don't realize that I'm putting pressure on myself until I've either freaked out or, you know, I have some type of like a moment where it's like, well, hold on, pause, you're doing this to yourself. No one has said anything to you. So I'm realizing again that I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to stay in first place and to maintain, you know, whatever, there's money to be won and stuff like that. So that, coupled with increasing my workout regimen, thus trying to manage my macros and eating and stuff, it's a lot to figure out. It's a lot to sort through. It's just been challenging because when I don't eat, I get hangry. I'm one of those people that just need not say anything when I'm hungry, but also I get anxious because my body's like, what's happening? So then I automatically assume something's wrong, and so I freak myself out. Anxiety. I'm learning to have a snack with you at all times, those types of things, but while I'm trying to figure out this larger fitness, weight loss journey, in my brain, it's easy to go into, okay, so you're still hungry, you keep going over your caloric allowance, if you will. So then my mind, because I have to work through extremism, it's easy for me to be very extreme, which is a cognitive distortion. I forgot what it's actually called, but it's like all or nothing. And so the knee jerk is for me to say, oh, well then you're just failing on this. I'm failing on this weight loss thing. I'm failing on this weight loss journey. And it's like, it just throws all of my good work out of the window. Anxiety. When in reality, so today I found myself hungry and going to get something to eat, and I was telling myself in the car, like, because I have moments with myself. I have staff meetings. I joke around about that because it sounds like you have 1,000 personalities, which I don't, but I do have moments with myself where, you know, you just gotta have like a locker room conversation. And so I think out loud to say, like, you're not failing, you're just shifting, you're just pivoting, you're just learning. You're unlearning old habits, you're learning new habits, because historically I have avoided maintaining long-term fitness regimens because I get to this point where I'm starting to increase my weight loss and, you know, increase my eating and managing my calories, but then I reach this point where I'm hungry all the time. And so when you have a limited diet or a restricted diet, a special diet, if you will, that I do, it's not as easy to just say, oh, we'll get more of this or whatever. I have to really be strategic about that. And so I have talked myself out of it, but I'm convinced that I want this to really be a lifestyle. And so now I find myself up against the same wall, convinced that I need to get over it and so get past it. And with that, I'm thinking, the knee jerk is to think, oh, you're failing. When in reality, I'm not failing, I'm just learning, I'm shifting. So that positive reinforcement to undo the lie that says that you're failing, or you're not a good parent, or you're not a good friend, you're not a good spouse, you're not a good leader, you're not a good Christian. I mean, it's not true. And so having that positive reinforcement to cancel the lie of the enemy, and to also just remind yourself, like, hold on, I can't throw out my 15 pounds of weight loss out the window because I've hit a crossroad that I'm unfamiliar with how to overcome successfully. So that, coupled with my card being compromised and I only have so much cash and now my tire is low. And again, I know there are worse things. I'm so grateful, right? Having a spirit of thankfulness. So even though it's frustrating that my card got closed, because one, my card getting closed reminds me that I have a credit card that I have to pay off. That's not paid off still. That could be used in an emergency, but there's not enough of a balance on it to really use it the way I want it to right now. And so it's a reminder that I made poor financial decisions in the past. However, that does not speak to my future. You can't go back and change what you did, but you can change how you think and how you look at certain things. And so it's tempting to feel, and you're a failure with that too, because if you had a credit card that was paid off, you would be able to go to wherever and get your car fixed. But that's negative self-talk, and that's unproductive, and that's very damaging. So I'm not gonna do that. But it's tempting. You have these temptations. Now again, I'm not belittling anxiety because it's a very serious thing. I've had panic attacks before. I've had my chest, tightening up and I can't breathe. I've had the meltdowns. I've had all of that. And so I get it, but I think understanding how, to unwind. Last weekend was a very full weekend. I found myself overwhelmed and overstimulated at one point to where I was like, hold on, I can't even think right now. And instead of having a complete meltdown and freaking out and lashing out, I need to just pause. So I was on the phone with someone. I got off the phone. I had music playing. I turned the music off or down. I like to listen to lo-fi music because it typically doesn't have any lyrics. So it's very soothing to just listen to the instruments, listen to the rhythm, the beat. Some people relax by listening to a podcast. I know sometimes I can turn on like a show that I can just have as white noise in the background if I'm home or whatever. But just knowing how I need to unwind when I'm overstimulated helps me to manage that better and figuring out what that is. I've made such progress, and I'm so grateful for the progress that I've made, because again, once upon a time, I was talking to someone earlier today. Once upon a time, I would have completely wigged out. I would have been crying. I would have been a basket case. I would have freaked out and melted down over something that's not that serious in my situation. I mean, it's unfortunate and it's annoying, but like, it'll get resolved. Not to mention, from a Christian believer perspective, when we're inconvenienced and stressed, and we've succumbed to this idol of control, or this idea of control, and this super tight schedule. I am a planner through and through. I love planning things. I don't like doing stuff spontaneous. I know my friends think I do, but I've usually thought about it for a very long time. And so when I make a schedule, so what I'm continuing to undo and to unlearn right now with God is wake up in the morning, instead of thinking, okay, this is what I have to do, this, and this today, stopping and saying, God, thank you for still being here. Thank you for what I have. Thank you for my home. Thank you for my friends. There's always something to be thankful for. You lead my schedule today to look like the way you want it to look. So then when I'm sitting in traffic 8 hours later after I got for work, when I'm heading to do something, I don't feel like I'm untraining myself, and I'm unlearning the notion to feel like, well, hold on, hurry up, and then I'm freaked out and I'm anxious and I'm worked up. Versus, okay, God, obviously there's something. One, you're teaching me patience. Two, is there something that I'm missing? Is there a car accident I'm missing? Is there construction that I'm missing? Is there something else? And I'm continuing to challenge myself, and I've really been focusing on that for the last few weeks so that I can apply that productively and not waste energy on stuff that really doesn't need, that's not gonna matter in a week, a month, a year. But it's a process, and I don't always do it right, and I don't always do it well, because humanity is what it is. But I think I'm just grateful. So like even today, I was thankful. God, thank you so much that my whole bank account didn't get emptied out. Thank you that we caught the $1 charge and not the whole, you know, my bank account completely didn't get cleaned out. Thank you, God, that my tire didn't blow when I was driving on the highway. Thank you, God, that my car is still intact, because it's partially my fault that my tire looks like that, because I put it off, right? Like the adulting of it all. How can we contribute to making better decisions so that we don't add to the anxiety and add to the stress that's already inevitable anyway? I mean, it's a lot. I'm honestly just happy I didn't cry, because for years, which is the reason why I started this conversation talking about my therapist and how we've been working on this for 4 years. I had a meeting with her, or a call with her session the other day, and she was just saying like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of the progress you've made and all of that. And it's like, me too. Thankful to God for using her, and thankful to the work and the application, and for his faithfulness in my life, and for growth, you know. And I even pray that even when I'm in a different season, that I will carry these learnings over, and I know that I'll need them for my next season, you know. Taking slow, deep breaths when you find yourself overwhelmed or worked up. If you find yourself overwhelmed at work, what are what has to happen right now? What can wait? What are the things that if you would just stand up for yourself and say no, you can manage that piece and relinquish that piece of whatever is adding stress to your life. Having tough conversations, seeking to be productive in those conversations, working through challenging moments, but recognizing that it's just a moment. It's not your character, it's not who you are, it's not your everything. And for me, it's knowing that there's a God who loves me and who is not surprised by anything, because he knows all, he sees all. So nothing catches him off guard. So then if I'm gonna trust him, I'm gonna trust that he really is a part of all of it. It's a lot. I mean, and the reason why I started this series is because I wanted to be honest and transparent and just share, like, you know, learnings or things that I'm working through or whatever. And hopefully you can take something away from it. Hopefully you are enjoying it. And I want to continue to bring you guys quality content and all of that good stuff. But again, my prayers are with you. Nope, God is with you. You are in my prayers, is what I was trying to say. And I hope you all are well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You know, we're homies, we're friends. You might as well stay, become a part of the family. I don't know what I'm calling my subbies yet. I have no idea. But I'm grateful for what is to come, and we just gotta keep going. So hope you guys are well, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.